Similar to the breakdown section you see in the stocks when it comes to revenue by country and revenue by segment, as well as in the fund detail page, that is the allocation by different countries and by different asset class, we are going to show you something very similar here inside portfolio, but we aim to show you more deeper insights and diversifications beyond what you see in stocks and funds. We call this whole section breakdowns, and within that there are 9 different ways we break down your portfolio allocations. And the whole purpose of using this breakdown section is to give you enough insights just in terms of how you've invested your portfolio and how diversified they are. And most importantly, along the way, hopefully we can raise some awareness or make you cautious about, are you overly concentrated into one sector or one country, or are you having too much diversification and you end up losing the benefits of diversification. So of all the 9 different ways to break down your portfolio allocations, we are going to cover the first 4 of them here in this clip, and they are asset class, country, sector and theme. You can quickly use the drop-down menu to see all 9 of them, by the way. So first, let's start with the asset class breakdown for this example portfolio. And since we have 5 funds and 5 stocks, and each of the security is 10%, you will have 50% of the portfolio in stocks and 50% of this portfolio in funds. And that shows you the breakdown by asset class of the 2. And why this is important, it's very simple and handy feature, just shows you how much you are investing in stocks versus funds. And there's really no right mix between the 2. But I think in general, when you start investing and when you are very new to investing, you want to start with some funds to begin with, just dip your toes into the whole investing space. And over time, as you gain more confidence, you can try some individual stock picking. So this asset class breakdown gives you that insight. And the second breakdown is by country. So for each stock, we use the primary country of operation, and for funds, we get the allocation insights, if you remember, from the breakdowns by country. And we do the calculations behind the scene and we add up everything together. And what this tells you is a look-through function inside the funds. So for example, Apple here is having USA as its primary country of operation. And at the same time, the funds you have here in the example portfolio, they also invest in the US. So what this country breakdown tells you is by looking through the funds, adding the same countries together and give you a true transparent insights into how diversified your fund is on a country by country level. And as you can see here, we deliberately created this portfolio to show you all these different possible countries. And by looking at this, it tells you that this example portfolio is well diversified across different countries, with the US being its top country allocation at 36.2%. So what is the best way to use this country breakdown? Is when you are investing a lot in the stocks, and a lot of these stocks end up in the same country. And if you are not aware of that fact, this is now particularly important because it tells you your portfolio is overly invested in one single country or the other. And what you should do as a result is to look at other countries that may be also possibly interesting to you. Very similar to country, the third breakdown is by sectors. And here we use the same approach. For each stock, they will always have a sector that belongs to them. And for each fund you have, they invest in the underlying sectors within the funds themselves. And what we do here is to add the same sectors across the stocks and the funds together behind the scene. And we show you here the specific allocation across each of the sectors. And once again, it's somewhat deliberate, but you can see the example portfolio here is well diversified across different sectors. And similar to countries, you want to see if you are overly investing in some particular sectors or not. And if it's not something to your liking, you can adjust the sector allocation by looking into other possible sectors. And next, let's move on to theme. So inside our stock and fund universe, we label some of the stocks and funds to different themes, such as sustainability, future tech, or COVID beneficiaries. And when a stock or a fund you have in your portfolio is labeled with one of those themes, this is the place you can see that information. Now it happens, unfortunately, for this example portfolio, we didn't label any of the stocks or funds into any of the themes we have. But you can scroll down the labels here and see the whole list of themes we have. And you can do the same to countries or sectors. And the purpose here is, rather than just showing what you have, we also want to show you what you don't have. Because quite often we don't know what we don't know. And a very common thing we notice is a lot of the users will say, I got allocations into 4 sectors, and to me that is quite well diversified. But in reality, what they don't know is there are in total 11 sectors out there. And once we told them that, they were caught off guard. So knowing what you haven't invested in is just as important as knowing what you have. And finally, you can click into the breakdown header here, and that gives you the detailed allocation across each of the security and their respective weights. You can also click into this drop-down menu here and select different category. Once again, we want to be transparent, and this is why we show you all the data we have in our calculation, and hopefully you'll find this level of detail is helpful for you when you make an investment decision.